at the PRS Guitars factory right here. You can see the birds right here. This is the holy land for all guitarists, and we will just get right into it and see the PRS Guitars team here.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi,
welcome. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome to PRS.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Take you on a tour, and then we're gonna have to finish the tour by about 11:25.
Okay.
Then we're gonna go meet Paul.
Okay.
And you got like 20 minutes with Paul or something like that. So we'll meet him in his office and start private stock after that.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Rough Cut. We have two wood guys that search the globe. They're always out searching lumber yards. They're working with loggers and millers and all kinds of stuff. Selecting the best woods for PRS. As they hand select it all comes back here. So when it gets here, these guys are going to cut the wood's got the production sizes, so we're going to cut backs, necks, fretboards, tops, and then they'll do the initial grading system on the tops. So look at it. All right, that's a 10 top. So on this is select, and that's for either S2 CE grade or. So as they're cutting things down to production sizes, they're going to start stacking it on pallets, and they're going to stick stack it. Right? Stick stack it. Kind of an example there, but I'll show you what I mean. You've taken all these precautions, things that Paul learned super early on through our own failures, right? Just to say, at 2%, the thing's good and it's not good. So it's a process. It depends on the moisture content level of the wood when it comes in, but typically about 20. How long it takes to get down to 6. So we bring it down to 6, probably about 4 to 6 weeks on average. It comes out of the hot room, and then it's going to go sit onto the production floor and acclimate. This is a thing. You'll hear me say acclimation a bunch of times because it's one of the most important things we do, and you never see it when you buy the guitar. So this you'll never see when you buy the guitar. This you'll never see when you buy the guitar. And these are the most important things that we do to ensure the thing lasts forever. Paul started repairing guitars. He was building and repairing.
Okay.
And when he's repairing, he's learning like, why are these frets pop? And he's like, well, the frets didn't move, but the so he stabs the wood and he's like, oh, it's at 12%. Of course it moved, right? So you just figure out through a lot of trial and error and things like that. But a lot of that was done well before we started the factory. Right? So we had some pretty set processes early on, and then you tap people smarter than you, right? And then it's a team. Slowly circulating air through there.
Okay.
That's what you want to have. You can't dry it too fast because it'll blow up.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you dry really slow, and if you also dry it too fast, it'll case harden, which means you'll get 6% on the sides,
Okay.
and then when you cut into it, it's 12 or 8 or something like that. All things you don't want to have happen. Otherwise, the neck does this. All right, this is important. This is a fingerboard blank before we cook it.
Okay.
All right, so that's probably at 6%.
Okay.
Then it goes into this oven right here, and then it takes it down to 2%. So that is crystallized sand.
Oh.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, I just know that when you bake it, it's like crystal.
Yeah.
It is crystal, right? Yeah, that's what's happening. It's crystallized the sap. Once everything's ready, it's going to sit here for a minute, and then we're going to roll it out. This is rough cut.
Rough cut.
It's climate controlled to a certain degree because there's a door that opens and closes. The factory is always 72 degrees and about 46% relative humidity year round. When we keep it like that, it's locked. And when you build guitars in that condition, it ensures the guitars work everywhere on the planet. So it can work in the most humid condition, in the driest condition, the neck is going to stay straight, the fretboard's not going to shrink, all those things. For humans, sometimes things do happen. But as a point of interest, from 1985 when we started the company to now, our warranty return rate for defects or flaws, less than 1%. So as we scaled the business up, it stayed at less than 1%, which is incredibly difficult to do. But if it goes to 2, we're ringing like alarm bells going, something's wrong, stop everything. As Paul will say, where there's a rat, there's a nest, which means there's a problem, right? So we just go find the problem and instantly deal with it. beginning of the process. All right, so this is where this is an interesting thing that you're probably not going to see in other guitar factories. Guitars come out of the hot room, or the woods come out of the hot room. It's all stacked. We wheel it out and we put it up top here, and we don't touch it on two of us. Literally sits there, acclimates to the building and the conditions. And what's going to happen? Usually, it's going to move around, and that's what you want to have happen. Now, not while once it turns into a guitar. So you're going to see some cuppings, some twistings, and things like that. Sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's pretty minimal. So after 2 weeks, and you can see it when we're on 618, and it'll be ready to use, right? So that's not ready to use.
Oh, okay.
We drop it down here, and they do a milling the first milling, and then it just sits. And again, you just want to make sure it's acclimated to the conditions. So these are tops for S2s and core, or S2s and bolt-ons, CEs. These are a 1/2 inch thick, pretty standard cut. That's core tops right there. Those are 1 inch thick. Pretty non-standard dimension, harder to get. But yeah, that's how we make core guitars. So here's what happens. In rough cut, a lot of cases it comes in cut for us now because we have relations with the mills and things. But this is the board. The tree would go like this, right? And then you cut these chunks out. You run it through the bandsaw, and it opens up.
It open, and it looks. Oh yeah, that looks
mirror
cool.
image. So that's what's happening here.
Whoa,
Yes.
these are awesome.
These guys are creating parts to build bodies, right? So they're gonna get their build sheet every day. It's gonna sit. Look at that piece over
Whoa.
there. East Coast.
Yeah.
They're gonna build the tops and then get the backs ready for production. Then they're gonna glue the tops of the backs, right? So you got to mill, join and plane both sides of the top, join the center line. Right here is where you set the book match on the center line. When he sets it, he's going to set the book match and put 3 hash marks across it and not glue it up. Then he hands it to these guys over here who will line up the hash marks because now the book match is set. They'll put an RF glue down the center line, line up the hash marks, clamp it, and then they use a RF glue and an RF gun, sends radio frequency waves through the glue, and they hit it here, 3 seconds each, cured. Wipe it up, do the other side, and it's ready to be planed. Same thing for mahogany, but it's one piece.
So is it the pen top?
That's a CE.
Okay.
Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, looks awesome. So how did Paul discover what glues they use and how the process is for this entire process?
Asking questions. You ask a lot of questions.
He is a curious person.
Curiosity. Right? But then what these guys will do is they'll take a PRS body template. They're going to cut this out roughly and then glue this to the back. And then those 2 parts will get nailed together and put into a press. We'll put about 4 tons of pressure on the body for about 12 hours or so, and that makes sure that the glue line is tight from the top to the back. Body template line it up, book match, right? And then those guys glue it together. Then it's milled. Then it's sent down to be CNC cut. So we're gonna head up this way and then make a few pit stops and we'll go to the machines. All right, this is a little pit stop. So this area here is the inlay cell. So they're making parts for the neck team. So they're gonna make headstock veneers. Starts as a blank, then your inlay, and your final finished product, right? So then it's CNC cut again, thickness sanded, and it's ready for production. Same thing with the birds or the dots or the moons or whatever the Avalam for core, the acrylic ivory for S2 and bolt-on and gutter line. This is all just engineering lays out the best yield for a sheep, and then CNC cuts them out. I mean, you got all your bird pieces. Rough fingerboard blank. It's been contoured. The bird pockets have been installed. We've inlaid the birds. We've done a rough radius, set the radius, slide it to the press. And that part is ready for production to build nets.
This is for the Herman Lee model. This is gorgeous. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, it's so good to
Nice
see
to meet
you.
you.
Oh my goodness.
Really good.
It's so good to see you. I had no idea you were here today.
All right, so this is the part they made down there, rough body construction, right?
Yeah.
So they two boards were glued together, glued to the back, came out of the press. Now it's ready for CNC. These are prep holes, and you're gonna see what's moving over here, what's shaking. The backs are cut first, comes out, we QC check it, and then it goes in for the top bars. So this is our first multi-head CNC machine.
Yeah.
The resolution that comes out of these things, if I can find one.
Good, that. Oh, it's all.
It's straight out of the machine.
They can do cup now? Or you have to manually wrap it?
Oh no, it's all still hand sanded.
Oh, okay.
They come out the resolution is so fine that it makes it less laborious to sand.
Yeah.
Because sanding is a pretty hard job.
Yeah.
And then trying to keep people retention-wise that are sanding is difficult. So we try and make this job as less strenuous as possible.
Okay.
So when it comes out of the machine, it's quality check, and then it's sent over to be sanded.
So this is the one to try mass spatial?
Yep.
So you guys use a CNC machine for steel, I remember. Or is this one?
We did.
Oh,
So we used to use Fadals, right? In 1995, we started using CNC machines. It was to recreate Santana's guitar that was stolen. So we had to digitize. It was recovered and then digitized his guitar, and then that's where the Santana model came from, right? Because we didn't want to take that original one on the road anymore. And then what we learned was, for consistency and speed and being able to get someone to focus more on quality, then the machine that we used to use is called, it was a tracing cutting machine, duple carver, and you would basically have a composite of the body, an arm and a router motor, and you'd be tracing the body, and over here it's cutting the guitar. It's doing this the whole time because you're using wood, you're cutting wood. So it came out really inconsistent, which meant way more sanding time, which meant really inconsistent top thicknesses and binding thicknesses. So the early PRSs are kind of like all over the place. In 96 is kind of like when these really came online. So we got 2 Fadals, then 2 more. They were metal cutting machines because at the time they were the most consistent machines we could find. So everything was within a 10,000th of an inch. As time progressed, technology improves. These Doosan's are actually wood cutting machines. mean, with our engineers and just the way the machines work, the resolution. That's why I'll show you the resolution. If you can see when I started here versus today, it's insanely different. So that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine another 10 years after that. So really, once they come out of here, they're going to be inspected and then sent to the body sanding team. What we're experimenting with and implementing is cobot sanding. So it's robotic sanding with a human, and it just mimics someone's movement. So you're training the robot, right?
Yeah.
And then you fine tune it, and then the human is there to watch the whole thing. And really, that turns it into quality control people. And the jobs get way less labor intensive, which means your retention comes up, all the good things we want. Because you spend about a year, you're not productive for a year. It takes forever because of our processes and all the other things. We don't want to lose people, we want to keep people, we want to create careers for people. That's what all that's about. This is the neck cell. So necks are kind of more linear than bodies. It starts with rough construction to the machine cell, straight down the fretboard leveling, threading, sanding, veneers applied. It's just a straight line all the way down.
Yeah.
The process is kind of like this. Storyboarding. Chord. That's the rough blank of a core guitar. Super non-standard dimension, hard to get, but this is the way we make a cornet because we've tried a lot of other ways and it doesn't work out.
You have to find a big tongue, right? A big.
Yeah, this wood is getting harder and harder to get also. Jointed on all four sides. We cut the playing surface, cut in the headstock angle, and remove this portion out of the back. So this is where the back of the neck is going to be. This goes back into the hot room. And it goes in for about 4 or 5 days. And why? Because we want to twist, do all the stuff that's going to do.
Acclimated.
Yep. We bring it back out. It sits on the floor for a few days, and then we level this surface. So through this whole process, we're always leveling this surface.
Oh.
We call that the player surface.
The truss rod.
So now, route for the truss rod. Put the rod in. Glue up a strip. This goes into a press. It's basically fire hose and inflated with air. It's pneumatic press. It puts
Then the ear, right?
consistent, even pressure to make sure the rod is seated properly. We pull it out of the press, check the rod, make sure it's functional, whack it with the mallet, make sure it's not rattling, then glue the ears on. Tuner holes are drilled, so it's like in between each process, it's like acclimation in between each process.
Oh, okay.
But still, the shape is not cut in, right? Because we're always still leveling this surface. Even still, right?
Yeah.
So then we glue the fretboard on. And really there's pin locator holes that associate the male and the female. And make sure everything's lined up right down the center. Fretboard's glued on, same pneumatic press to make sure it's on there well. Then the shape is cut.
Oh, yeah.
Very last thing. Shape is cut, heel angle is cut. Then it's final.
Then the veneer.
Yeah, veneer and sand. That's right off. That's right off the sand. It's up to you guys if you want to do it. Feels pretty good. This is an 18-day process.
18 days.
This is S2, and this is all our scarf neck joint stuff.
Oh yeah.
Here's the blank. It's a way more standard dimension.
Okay.
It's 4/4 versus 12/4.
Yeah.
Level out the
that's
blank
tough.
again. Do this scarf cut, flip it. There's your headstock.
Oh,
see.
yeah.
There's the final product. And really, all these processes are pretty much the same as core. And you see, we never carved the shape in, right? because it's acclimating.
Okay.
Always leveling the surface. Straight up, same exact as core, right? Same as core. From here on, it's the same as core.
Same as core.
Yep. Same shapes, same people making them, same people sanding them.
But faster build process.
7 days.
7 days. Okay.
With acclimation.
Okay.
Because it started way closer to final dimension. It's one of the reasons. And that's without dry time. That's full manufacturing time. Once it's at this stage, this goes back into the hot room, this goes back into the hot room. That's again, make sure it's level.
Yeah.
So once the necks are finished, send them down this way. It's an NBA, that stands for neck body assembly. Unless it's a bolt-on, it goes the other way. So set necks go this way, bolt-ons go that way. Finish neck, finish body. This is the heel. We always keep it a little oversized because every neck is individually fitted for every body. Because we hand sanded this and we hand sanded this, you're
It
gonna
fits not
try to
okay.
fit the neck in, and then you're gonna set the neck angle. So you take a straight edge, you take it straight down here. It's a triangle essentially. And there's a measurement you take here, here, and here, removing material off the heel, right? The whole time. Once it hits spec, see these score marks? So we score the heel and the same thing here. Then we glue the neck in. And the reason for this is it's a stronger mechanical bond. Once the neck is set, clean up all the glue, it's clamped up obviously, and then we finish sanding. So I recommend feeling this because this is sanded up to 320 grit.
Whoa, very good.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So the finish sanders are going to make sure there's no swirl marks, cutter marks, sander marks, and they're getting it ready for the finish coat process, right? So this is microscope, lots of light, making sure everything's flat. And then after the finish sanding, it goes to a QC area. In between every stage of every process here, there's QC. Then there's QC integrated in, and then there's a little bit later down the road, I'll show you an area that it goes from QC to QC with no processing between, which is kind of awesome. That's how we ensure every guitar comes off the line consistent. That's MBA, finish sand. This is workshop operations for the private stock all through here.
The double neck.
Double neck. So that's a shop within the shop, right?
Yeah.
That's their own production team. So they do it from start to finish, but it's like 15 or 18 people, right? And then Paul Miles runs the whole shop.
Yeah.
He started with private stock, now he runs everything, so he's able to integrate all his talent from this into everything else we do. So it's a pretty powerful thing to say. The guy that runs private stock runs the entire manufacturing facility, like for production, right? That's pretty awesome.
Private stock acoustics. Oh, pa. Cleo. Malihat ka tadi Cleo-nya lagi di staining.
Check the robot out while it's spraying. That's how it works.
Oh, is that robot?
Yeah.
Oh, all the same by your robot now?
Look at this.
So base coat, and top coat, no color coat. It's all done by robot.
Oh, has to be robot accuracy, right?
Yep, and I'll tell you why in a sec, but I'll explain what's happening here. So the guitars come from Finish Sand QC, come up here. You can see it's bolt-ons, S2s, cores. Everything, it's not... S2 started as a second line, and it's just morphed into the same people making the same stuff, right? So really it's just a price point. Not a second one.
Okay.
Same people making them.
Yeah.
Same people staining them, finishing them, assembling them. It's just the starting processes are a little bit different, and the carve is a little bit different. Other than that, you're seeing as you're walking through, you're like, oh, there's S2s and bolt-ons, everything's co-mingled. Because it didn't work. The second line didn't work because of our quality standards. It was too difficult. So this is a little U, and it's stain, rain fill, spray prep, and QC, and that's what's going on right here. So you can see there's staining right here.
Okay.
Probably doing some sand out. See the sand out right there.
Yeah.
So mahogany and swamp ash in particular are pretty porous woods. So we use this paste substance that we add tint to, which brings the grain of the wood out in a more, it's just more pleasing fashion, I suppose. So you do it once, you clean up all the cavities, it cures, and then they do it again. And the reason we do it twice is because our finish is so thin. If we didn't do it twice, we just keep sending it.
Yeah.
So for us, our final build on finish with base coat 2 years ago because many reasons. One, I've sprayed in my previous life, and you're doing this for 8 hours a day, and the cup is 10 pounds, and you get tired, and things get inconsistent, and tips of headstock start getting dry, and it's the finish coating ends up being 13 mils here, 8 mils here, 12 mils here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with technology, these robots have come in. They've become pretty affordable. We have a good finish engineers, good finish guys. Matt is one of the finish engineers who's been here forever. And also this Bell spray head system. So to get your solids to flow through, you got to add solvent to the finish, right? So it will flow through your finish system through the gun and lay onto the guitar. The Bell system's spinning at about 60,000 RPMs a minute, and what it's doing is it's gassing off the solvents and laying a solid on it. And it's incredibly consistent, which also means the finish gets way harder. It's way less problems with rework because you're gassing off before it hits the guitar. And it's removed bottlenecks. So we could set up the best planning on the planet with scheduling of the factory, but then it hits finish, and finish is the other F word, right? So it's where everything goes to die, right? Because you're putting finish on wood, and it's near impossible to do. So this broke all the bottlenecks that we had just because of consistency. Then you're a sander, you're used to sanding the same thing over and over and over again, and it's been really great for this place. So. And it's fun to watch. Base coat, lots of sanding obviously, so you'll see raw wood, the stain, it's a whiz coat, it's a base coat, it's a color coat, and top coat. And that's this process.
Yeah. This is without the finish yet.
Yeah, this has a base coat on it.
Oh.
So, and it's nitro from the ground up. So nitro all the way up to the top. After this pinhole is because the next thing that happens is the top coat paint, color coat. For example, you're doing a gold top, right? You tape everything off but the top because we're going to paint that gold. You peel the tape, and then if it's a DGT, you remask it, paint the back brown, and it's a pain in the ass anyway. That's what's happening. getting ready for the color switch. Finish back here, right? This whole corner.
Yeah.
Kind of get a glimpse of what's happening.
Oh, this is the one that's on PRS Friday.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, the Clio.
Stuff going on with spalt,
oh yeah.
and foil, and toner, and paint, all kinds of stuff. So this one over here.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
spalted. That's spalted quilt.
Oh,
Never seen it.
one open.
Yeah, one-off piece of wood for sure.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Paint, and clear picture, mango, 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 mango.
Mango.
But notice, it's S2 core, bolt-on, everything is the same. Yep.
Of course.
All the same people. So someone's working on an S2, someone's working on a core. This is where we level and polish the frets. Do the round over on the fretboard.
Core topping.
High traffic area.
Yeah.
Super busy back here. All right, so what happens through here is you got top coat, so color coat. Once the paints are peeled, sprayed on, they'll peel the tape around the binding, serialize the guitar, scrape back all the edges, make sure that this QC area right here, make sure all the paint is perfect, then send it in for the top coat, the clear coat, final coat. It cures, it's many passes because it's nitro, has to build, then it's sanded here, right? So wet sanded, buffing, turnaround. So buffing and turnaround, kind of a crucial step here. These guys are linked as a team, right? So when you're buffing, you can see they have goggles on and they're spinning wheels, shooting compound everywhere. So they're relying on one another to say, this guitar still needs some attention here. Yeah, like you see this.
Oh.
They marked it up with grease pencil saying, avoid this area, hit this area is a bit sensitive, so stay away. Anyway, working as a team, it goes through this process 3-4 times because also if you heat up finish, if you're going crazy, you're just gonna burn it right off, right? So, so it's definitely a delicate balance. Once they're finished, they're going to you can see, just look around what's going on. What we built is what the production matches the production order. They're going to issue a parts kit. We'll see it. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Parts kit. So they scanned it. They say this guitar, this wood library guitar gets this parts assortment.
Okay.
This guitar gets this parts assortment. And then that way they're also checking it. If it needs to go to marking it up with the pencil saying, I found scratches. Different light, sending it backwards, and it'll just kind of go through this a few times again. Pick up winding.
Oh, okay.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Forehead CNC machine.
Oh yeah, for the
Four bottoms and ends. Different gauge wire, different turns, different style of turns. All depends on what pickup we're making at the time.
Probably like over 100.
Oh, okay.
I've done 200, but that's not really sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not sustainable. So bobbins are wound. Thank you. So he's made the coils, then it comes in here for actually assembling the pickup, and then drop-ins are made, right? So pick guard assemblies.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
Yeah.
That way the assembler can just pop this in and build the guitar that way. Or electronics drop-ins. So using custom 24 as an example. You got the volume, the 5-way blade, the tone, everything's soldered together in the boomerang shape or in the electronic. All right, so in here, this is final assembly. So you have some pre-assembly, which is really just tuner installation. So that's one part of the process, and then these guys are responsible for building the guitar. So bridge, strap buttons, pickups, electronics, nut, all of it, right? Putting the guitar together and then setting the guitar up. So neck relief, action, intonation, pickup height, all those things are set. We play tested. They're signed off on if it meets spec and then sent back this way. Were put together, assembled, set up by this team. They come in here as a completed unit, right? So they're going to be able to check the following things. Again, neck relief, pickup height, action, intonation. They come in with no back plate so they can inspect the electronics, right? It's a core.
Yeah,
so
all
same
in the
people,
same
right?
line.
That's what I'm going to try and drive that home. That S2 is not lesser. It's just, it's a different price point because we made it different. So, this facility, Maryland, services the USA and Canada. That's pretty much it with SEs. So, Sweetwater, GC, MF, AMS, all the indies, Long McQuaid, everything comes out of here. So we get a few containers a month. They come in, product comes up here, receiving's right downstairs, come up the elevator, right into here, get racked, and then we have it's a production report, it's a schedule, right? It says, we need these, we need these, we need these. So these guys, there's 12 to 14 inspectors, pull the pallet over, unbox every guitar, take it to their bench, and then it's kind of like final inspection downstairs, right? Where they didn't put the guitar together or build the guitar, but they're checking neck relief, action, intonation, pickup height, electronics, making sure everything works, looking at the guitar, making sure it doesn't need to be buffed or sanded or there's no chips or any kind of things like that. The overall reject rate has come down significantly over time because of it's essentially our relationship. It's a lot of reasons. One is the relationship with Cortec. They're on the phone pretty much constant, pretty much 3-4 times a week. Once a week we get drop shipped, air freighted 4 guitars that are straight off the line.
Okay.
Every week, drop here, so we can stay ahead of any kind of curve. In case there is an issue, right? We can catch it super early. Doug, Jack, Tom, who's our lead inspector, John Walker, and Mike Pfeiffer. Between those 5 people, they're there every 6 weeks in completion. So they're there for about a week, making sure that our processes are our processes. We're calibrating, we're seeing issues. It's ongoing feedback loop, right, of positivity. The goal is to have the guitars come off the line there to where they really don't need to be touched, other than a little bit of setup work because they sat in an ocean container for 2 months, right?
Yeah.
But to get these guys to do less and less, right? So if they're doing a ton of work, that means the work in Indonesia isn't great. If they're doing very minimal work and it's just setup work, that means that's where we want to be, right? But we also want to lay eyes on every guitar before it goes out the door, because it's an integrity thing for one. And there's just a lot of reasons, obviously. So that's all SE inspection. We probably inspect 200-ish. It depends on the demand, at the time. So 200 to 250 is kind of like that's where it ebbs and flows a day.
Okay.
So that's what happens here. Yep, that's that. Tom is lead inspector there. We'll probably go see him on the fields as well.
Amp section. Yeah.
That's kind of Paul's little corner, so he always has some electronic engineers, intern people that he brings in. He's always working and tinkering on projects, basically. Always. So this is where, between Doug Sewell, these guys, and Paul, that's how amps are designed. And then most of the amps are made at Indo, as you know, at Court. Same thing with guitars. All the amps come in here. Every amp is open and inspected. Cabinets is spot inspection because it's like 10% or something. 10% are good, we're good. Never had problems with cabinets. Quality's approved, it's pretty awesome out of Indonesia. They have a super robust system. But that same feedback loop thing that I was talking about on guitars happens for amps as well. So that's the amps thing. So when they come in, these are we burn them in. We do all the things that you need to do to make sure that when the customer receives the amp, it is the same experience as receiving a guitar. And yeah, they're play tested. Oh no, here, go this way. Go in that door.
Oh, okay.
This is all sold stuff.
Kita lagi pilih-pilih private stock. Cuma private stock aja yang bisa dibikin pilih kayunya. Oh.
You might be in the direction of some water here.
Yeah.
Jadi ini biar kayak ini, kayak bird's feather.
Saved on your desktop.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh ya? This is also.
Yeah.
This is look at the.
Yep. Good curl figure.
Wah, ini gila nih. Ini sih gila sih.
You're
This is
gonna like this
crazy.
one.
Oh,
You like
definitely.
that
That's a nice one. Wow, man.
one? That's all you right there.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Well, this is all the newest stuff. So
Okay. Cool.
I'll definitely put it aside for you.
Are the tops milled to one side? Like if you flip it over, is there a figure on it?
It is, but they are milled to the good side.
So they know, obviously they know.
Yeah, so like this was when this was cut out of the tree, it was split like this.
And they examine
So
it.
then you can see
Right.
it matches perfectly. What happens is if you were to match
Like that. Yeah.
this way,
Oh.
it might not line up as much because it was in the tree like this.
Because you have that
Yeah.
difference in the grain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you cut like in the middle, so it will be like the same.
Yeah, but the farther away it gets, the more it changes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why sometimes when you see, like on a custom, in the pickup area, it'll match real close, and then as it goes through the carve and it moves,
Yeah.
it kind of like it can shift a little bit. And because we have such a deep violin carve going in, you never know. Sometimes you'll have a top like this, and if you look at the back, it could be nothing.
Okay.
And it could just carve into something that is no figure too.
Okay.
So the black limba is wood that has had bugs infested in it.
Oh.
And those bugs living in the wood have created like this graining pattern. All that brown is from, bug poop.
Oh.
So this is all on, a lot of this is coming from Virginia and West Virginia, from the Appalachian Mountains. We have a cutter over there. And then this, the red stuff, the big leaf, this is all West Coast.
Oh.
Just like the quilt is also West Coast.
Oh. Okay. So for the nice big quilt like that, from where is it?
West Coast.
West Coast.
Yep, Oregon, that area.
So it's like must be like from the States. I mean, other country they don't have quill.
No, it's all in the States, yeah.
Oh.
We do, sometimes we'll get some European maple down there, and that's from, there's some Croatian maple that we get, and some, some Eastern European stuff.
Oh, okay.
This was cedar. That was in Paul's office for a very long time, and he gave him the Carlos at one point. That's like
What is that?
it's curly cedar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And this one is very soft wood, right? How you make it like soft?
It's very soft.
Yeah, this is like soft. I mean, you can peel it.
Yeah. It's not as soft as spalt. Like some of the spalt, like that is really soft.
Oh.
And what we have to do is we paint it with glue,
Oh, okay.
and then that stabilizes it.
Okay. So only the spalter that you can make the color also.
Yep.
Put some color.
Yep. Because when you have pieces like this, this is still hard.
Okay.
So we can put color in there. We'll put like a foil,
Okay.
like a gold leaf or something like that to make like an accent color.
But you cannot put a fluorescent on it.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, you could do the binding and stuff, but I don't have anything that really glows that well.
Okay.
And right now, and most of the stuff doesn't have a whole lot of holes in it. Like that, there's a hole there.
Oh.
And sometimes we'll just carve it out, break it out, and then fill that with a resin or something.
Oh.
But honestly, if it doesn't have a good book match,
Yeah.
it doesn't look as good.
Okay.
If you have a nice big hole that's book matched, and you fill that with the resin, that looks really nice.
Oh.
I have one in my office now that I'm working on that's like that.
Oh.
It's not really that the top is curly like traditionally, it's the grain is really crazy. So I am looking for more.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we can get more of that.
So what's the difference, mahogany and ribbon mahogany? It's just like the pattern, the grain different?
Yeah.
Okay.
So traditionally our mahogany has been South American, early in our history. And that's what like Gibson and vintage guitars were. And then when we started exploring outside of that, we got this lightweight African mahogany.
Okay.
And that is the ribbony stuff. And that, for me, that's prettier.
Okay.
It's very iridescent. It looks like honey, like kind of a honey color.
Okay.
Where a lot of the South American just kind of, that one's a nice piece, but it's also really heavy. Try to hold that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything that gets South American, I always recommend doing like semi-hollow or something.
Oh.
Like that's like traditional South American stuff.
Oh.
Kind of darker, very straight grain. The African stuff is a lot prettier.
Okay.
And we get more of that comes in curly and with some figure in it.
We are going to meet Paul Reedsmith himself. Actually, we could have watched that. Hey. Hey, Paul. Hi, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Nick. Good to meet you. Come on to my office.
Okay.